So, dear Dharma friends, as ordinary people ourselves, we are so into intelligence. And in day-to-day life, we like to accumulate a lot of information and we try to increase our intelligence. But at the same time, we have to know to how to develop our wisdom, because the wisdom, the intelligence, how the intelligence become wisdom. So whatever that you study, whatever the knowledge you accumulate through your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, and in different ways, maybe it can come through books, it can come through culture, can come through tradition, even it can transform to you through environment. Anyways, the whatever that you study, you learn, that knowledge, when you repeat yourself and when you go through certain process repeating it, and it become you are intelligent. So that intelligence become wisdom when you go through that process, that yourself you start to understand something. It is not the same that what you learn, it is not the same that whatever the outcome come through the process, end of the process. In the middle of this all, you start to get something that become your wisdom. But the thing is, we exercise this wisdom with this outside world. So what is missing ourselves? We forget to look inside us and see how this head to toes this body happening. So practicing meditation itself make you wise related with your inside mechanism, not this outside world. When this inside mechanism become very clear, naturally you start to develop a clarity regarding the outside. You're not going to missing anything. But the thing is, once we become so into this outside world and outside information, once we start to go with it, and sometimes we forget to develop the clarity within ourselves. So the meditation is a way, meditation is a mental culture. Culture itself means there are different meanings with the culture also, and one meaning is the culture. It can you can break down it to different form, like you can culture the milk, and that's mean you change the milk, the format of the milk, and once you culture the milk and it going to go away from natural process, it start to behave in according to whatever the will that the person used to hold it. And other thing is that ourselves, that when we develop the mental capacity, when we develop the mind itself and using certain method whoever used to do in the past, and that also become the culture. But the very nature should be in the culture, the transforming truth from past to this moment, generation to generations. So how much truth that you learn from your past, or do you know that whatever the things that you learn with your physical mental behavior, is it truthful, or you just do it as a action just to pass the time or the situation, just to maintain the situation. But when it comes to mental culture, this meditation means it's the very clear path, that when you walk in this path, when you exercise with this path, what is happening naturally, the mind start to get into true nature. It never going to mix with some ideas. It's like we use another word called brainwash. You putting something on the top of the mind, but this is not kind of like that. You become very clear and you allow your mind to work as it is. But the thing is this, when it comes to the consciousness or the awareness, there are certain things you have to break down this mind to separate part. And when you develop the wisdom, what is the wisdom? So the wisdom is this, when you able to listen this very carefully, your wisdom means when you able to understand your thoughts, your emotions, your will, your awareness, and the mechanism of the connection of the body mind and the outcome. That is what your wisdom, that is the wisdom mean. When you able to master 100% to regarding your thoughts, you know how it arises, from the what is the process of your thought, why it come like that way, where it going to go, you know from beginning to end the process. And the emotions mean when the thought itself sometimes not, we have the physical mechanism in our body, that we know that our entire body is chemical. This whole body is drugs itself, that the scientists can break down this head to toes, all the body parts, to all the scientific the materials. So our body is itself drugs. You no need to take another drugs yourself. So you are already drugs. And so the what is happening when the thought get connecting with this, that the physical chemicals or the emotion, that the current that create the emotion, that means the energy in motion with the thoughts create the emotions. So once you recognize that, you can tap it, you can recognize it, you can understand it. It's like understanding a code. So see that how the scientists trying to find this medicine for virus, and they're trying to get into the behavior of it and recognize the code, that what is the mechanism inside. Once you know that, you can develop something. The same thing in your body also with your emotions. And when the physical mental get connecting, that the current start to accumulate with the thoughts, and it becomes something else. So that when you become wise, mean your wisdom, when you become wise, what is happening, you able to recognize this. The recognition itself the solution for your emotions. That as example, you have kind of like the desire to do something, and you are so emotions to ice cream. Then when you see ice cream or cheesecake or butter cake or cookies, you ready to almost cry, you ready to die, you ready to jump over it. Even sometimes, and people go to sleep, and when they doing fasting, I know. So there are some people when they doing fasting and they don't eat any sweets, and they go to sleep. While they sleeping, you know what is happening? They start to walk towards the refrigerator, and open it and eat all the ice cream and by sleep, and then go to sleep by the morning, and they feel kind of like they feel good, but they think that they keep doing the fasting, but they didn't recognize when the emotions high what they did, and they never want to question it. They say it is okay, just start from it. So like that. But when you become wiser, you recognize it. What is the solution for emotions? When you recognize that when the thought and energy mix, when you recognize itself, emotions become powerless. That recognition come out of the awareness. You have to practice for that. Otherwise, if you just go with it, and you will never catch it. And other thing is the will. You have to recognize the will. The will come out of the power of the choice. So even with the very little things, if you able to want to sleep, that your body say you want to sleep, you say no, I'm not going to sleep. You recognize this sleepiness and you put a value on it, something, and you're not going to sleep. So you go against that, the deeper, the whatever the behavior, the patterns, or the whatever the current holding us, that is will. Then another thing is the awareness. So the how the awareness come, that awareness come always that you guide your attention and towards the intention. So that is where the awareness come. So otherwise just putting attention, it doesn't make any sense. It's like a flashlight and like a ordinary torch. Just a ordinary torch, that it's go like this way. But when you take a flashlight and like a laser beam, so once you put it, go to exactly. So the awareness is like this. You recognize this is the important, and you not allow your all the mental thoughts or the behavior to go anywhere it wants. And so you focus to something and you recognize, okay, in this very moment, this is what I have to do. That also come out of the wisdom. And the body mind connection, and the body mind, the whatever the outcome come as a action, that the action, bodily, verbally, or mentally action, this all, when you have that understanding, clear understanding regarding this all, that is where you become wise. And that is what called clear consciousness, awareness, regarding your thoughts, regarding your emotions, regarding your will, regarding your awareness, and the body mind, the mechanism and the outcome as a action. So it is possible. Why? This all arise with the choice that you have inside you. So then when you have a choice, that choice itself come out of that you are understanding what you want to do, because that itself is not going to come to you. So when it come to the consciousness come out of the choice. Without a choice, that you cannot conscious. It's like without a point you cannot focus. It's like you putting the light to sky. So then that in day-to-day life, the what is happening when you don't have that, the choice, the itself, you just feel that you feel busy, you feel like you doing a lot of things, but still in a deeper level there is no productive happiness inside. So then when you practice meditation, what is happening? Then you have a choice, that is the focusing to mental object, and then you become that aware regarding the thoughts. You have now choice to stay with the mind, the sensation, and you have mental object, and you always go with it. So when the thoughts go here and there, you look, this is not the thought that I wanted, this is not the the what I am doing here. So you bring your awareness, your mind, your thoughts regarding the breathing and the emotions, and sometimes that the whatever the position you hold, and according to that certain things happen, and during the day whatever happen, and that also start to react. But still, when you have a choice, and when you are not moving, you start to recognize how this happening. As I mentioned, that recognition itself become the solution for your emotion and the will. So now you have follow the sensation and follow the breathing, and then the body wanna change and the mind wanna go there, you say no, I stay here, I want to follow the breathing. Then so you exercise your will, and in itself there is a recognition arise, and that recognition, that whatever the focus you going through, and that focus will come with the contacts, and the recognition arise, and then you recognizing, that is where the awareness arise. So when you keep doing this body mind exercise again and again and again and again, deeply what is happening, your consciousness becomes sharper and clear. See, there is no magic. Only thing is that you have to recognize this body mind mechanism clearly, and you have to recognize how this is happening. And once once you get into one point and stay, and what is happening, your consciousness becomes sharper, clear. That is become your wisdom. Once your consciousness able to recognize yourself, and in that very moment what is happening, and how this happening, that's become your wisdom. It is not about outside, it is really recognizing within your own experience, within your own self. And the thing is, once you able to understand this, that recognize itself, also you have power to observe and understand how this recognizer behave. That is the bigger part, because before the Buddha, no one touched the recognizer. All they went through the recognition, and the Buddha is the one who through the vipassana, that is the method of the. That's why there is no any other. You can look for any other religion so far in this 2564 years in this journey. There are many religions came even before the Buddha. There is no any method. There is no any religion talk about a method how to tap to the observer. So that's why that is why it is not just an argument. It is just the clear fact. There is no any method. There are a lot of people believe don't touch it. It is we have no rights to touch that. We don't know how it is. Just let it be. Just go with the outside result. But that going with this outside result, maybe you can go to heaven, maybe you can go to other planes or the other existence, but who knows. But even we go there, that it never going to be the same or the permanent. It going to always change. The misery is sometimes that when you live in a place without knowing it going to change, that is a misery. Just think about, you come to a position and you stay there without knowingly, that itself you not that knowingly yourself you don't know you going to change. That's itself misery. It's an illusion. That's why even there are some the angels, or you can go to heaven, or you can become a god. If the god don't know that god itself going to change, it's going to end one day. It's in illusion. That's why the Buddha went through this all and told everyone, whoever in this, even he went to the heavens and all the other existence, and told, hey, whatever you go through, whatever you experience, remember, it's going to change one day. And that is a blessing for them also. That's why they bless upon the Buddha. And you see that Buddha is the teacher for human and all the angels and all the deities and everyone. Why? Because this is what Buddha said. Hey, you whatever you enjoy, hey, remember, this is going to change. So then yourself understand deeply as a human being. That is the greatest thing that you can get in. There are a lot of people in the world, when it comes to little 5-minute situation, they act like it is the end of the world. They don't understand this dharma. They don't think that things going to change, and they are not ready to accept it. That is the biggest the danger within ourselves. That's why you need this knowledge. That's why you have to understand. That's why you have to be wise. You have to be wise not regarding this outside world fact. You have to be wise regarding your thought, your emotions, your will, your awareness, your body and mind connection. That is the wisdom. Not how far you can count, or how many planets you can see, how far you can run. Not that things. So then yourself, if you go with that, what is happening? That is my next point. So why I give this all the information to tell you? Because if you not become wise with that, your thoughts, your emotions, your will, your awareness, your body mind connection, you know what is happening? When the thought arise, when the emotions arise, when the will arise, when the awareness arise, when the body mind connection start to work, if you don't recognize, sometimes it can go against you. That is the point today I going to mention. Remember, when you don't know your thoughts, your emotions, your will, your awareness, your body mind, how this is happening, it can go against you. Your wisdom can challenge you. That your wisdom, the wisdom you build, if you don't become very clear with your thoughts or your emotions, your will, your awareness, your body mind connection, if you build the wisdom regarding this outside world, any moment it can go against. That's why there are a lot of people very famous, and they had everything, and materially they are very successful, very famous, and good looking, but they suicide. How this is possible? Because in ordinary way we can name them as successful people, but how they come to a position to kill themselves? That means they attack themselves. How they come to that kind of illusion? Because they don't become wise regarding their thoughts, emotions, will, awareness, body mind connection. If you become wise, even you are a fool, you're going to have a very comfortable life. So then remember, just becoming wise is so dangerous. So that's why how you can develop the awareness regarding thought, emotions, will, that and emotions and the body mind connection. That is why you need the spiritual background, because the spiritual background means you deeply you develop your mind with the reasons and with the loving kindness, compassions. When you go with the as ordinary person, when you go with the reasons and with the loving kindness, compassion, and it reduce the natural current, and you minimize it. So spirituality, that's why bring in the first level, bring the spirit, the discipline, not to react with things, not to go with things, go away, not to go with the current. So when you don't have any spirituality in the deeper level, the bottom level, the whatever wisdom you develop, very dangerous. That is what you see today. Look at today yourself, and sometimes even ourselves, with the husband, wife, children, friends and family. Sometimes you behave. How you can behave like that? How it is possible? If you are not the person to clearly understand or clearly have the 100%, give your heart with the loving kindness and compassion to your husband or the wife, who going to give it? Neighbor? Or somebody far away from another place, from a Facebook friend? And then if they give, they go with them. You have seen that. For you, if you cannot give the clarity or the understanding or the love, compassion 100%, so to your children, who going to give? Maybe in a school, classmate, college, they will find somebody. They're going to listen to them than you. And then you come to temple and tell, oh, Venerable Sir, my child not listening to me and do this, that. How possible? Why? Because you didn't develop a spirituality with the connection. That's the reason. What is the spirituality in the base level mean? Understanding, fully understanding and giving your love and compassion 100% without holding. Just try it. And even the partners or the friends or any connection. Even it come to the president and the ordinary people. When that connection disappear, things cannot work in the world. That is the main thing happening in today. We losing our spirituality. We are so into the things in the life, and we are sacrificing a lot of things regarding come out of the virus, but the thing is we not exercise our spirituality ourselves. We become more egocentric people in the world, and you will see the world going to have a very hard time in the future. Why? Because these all situations collapse and the people go collapse from the spirituality, become egocentric. That's why you see the people not learning anything from whatever the situation come. That's why we cannot fix this. It never happened overnight. It keep happening. It came through so far. So so only thing is how you can survive from this. Start to develop the spirituality and get into that. And get into that with your own people. With your husband, wife, children, friends and family members. Develop a spirituality. Before you develop the spirituality with the church or the temple or the mosque. And can you give 100%? Can you understand 100%? And can you listen 100% to other people? Can you do the maximum, the effort to others regarding your own? And then you will see how it open your wisdom and how you going to develop the clarity inside you. So remember that now you cannot come to temple and start to behave like the temple, your home. And I give a technique, and now you're not going to see the Buddha, and start to see your husband, wife, children, friends and family members and everyone as the Buddha, and do your best. When you go to the Buddha, you don't hold anything, and that's where you will see. Rather than seeing like the demon, when your husband, wife, children comes and the parents come, you sometimes see them like demons. No, see like the Buddha. And that way you will see. And how you can transform this everything. And how you can develop the wisdom not to come against you. Why? Because it come with the compassion, it come with the understanding. It never can go against you. It always uplift you. Otherwise what will happen? Otherwise you miss the point. It like this. There was a young person, well educated, and he mastered all the logic and everything. So one day he went to look for his salvation, look for the spiritual master, and ask from people, and people so go this way, go that way, and pass this village, pass this mountain, pass this forest. So he went because he's young, he's strong, intelligence, and so he went somehow, came to the river. And the other side of the river, and he saw the master that he looking for. And he start to talk and ask, hey master, how I can come to other side? Then the master told, you are already in the other side. And he left. So what is the message? If you don't develop your wisdom in a right way, even you come to the Buddha, you may ask the wrong question. You're not going to get the right answer. Even you come to the right husband, wife, children, friends and families, parents. Most of time in day-to-day life, look, you ask wrong question. You cannot ask the right question. That's why you cannot get the right answer. Why? Because you don't see your thoughts, your emotions, your awareness, your will. You are not clear with that. If you become clear, the whatever come out of you as a question, and it's going to become more clear. Why? Because it develop that your clarity, in the deeper clarity, develop your logical mind. So always when the question come out of that logical mind, if you are not clear, whatever the question you ask is not going to become a question. You're not going to get the right answer. You're going to miss the master. Even you reach to the point, if you don't ask the right question, you're not going to get the right answer. So learn to exercise yourself within your own thoughts, emotions, will, awareness and body-mind connection, and then you will see, and sometimes your appearance itself give the solution to a lot of questions in day-to-day life. So with that, I bless upon everyone. With this good practice, may all of you be well, happy and peaceful. May no harm come to you, may no difficulties come to you, may no problems come to you. May you also have the patience, courage, understanding and determination to meet and overcome inevitable difficulties in your life. During this time period, may everyone stay healthy and safe. And finally, may all of you attain supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sabbhitiyo vivajjantu sabbarogo vinassatu mate bhavatantarayo sukhi digayuko bhava. Ettavata ca ammehi sampadam punya sampadam sabbe devanumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe bhutanumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe sattanumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Idam me punya kammang asavakkaya vahang hotu sabba dukkha pamuncatu.